Thank you for tuning in to our network. Please enjoy. Sit back, relax, tune in, be entertained.
Hi, welcome to Water Me Sis. I'm JALEAH. I'm your host and my co-host.
Hi, I'm JALESA, founder of Water Me Sis.
And today we are with some beautiful ladies here that we have today. And our title is Sprout, Raising the Next Generation.
Yes.
And I want to just go around and everybody introduce yourself.
All right, I'll start. My name is Mari. I do have a 3-year-old little girl named Harper. I am a working mom, so I'm excited to see everyone's perspective and just learn the differences, from everyone, because just being a mom is it's different. It's a thing, and there's no book to this. So I'm excited to hear everyone's perspective today.
Cool.
Hello, I'm London. I've got 3 kids, 10, 6, and 1.5, going on 27. Also, I'm a lactation out here, London Chanel. That's what I go by. But like she said, there's no book to this mother thing.
I'm Rachel. I have 5 kids. I'd like to hear what everybody's point of view is of being a mother.
I'm Brittney. I've got a 6-year-old son named Alex. I'm a full-time working mom. I also do wedding planning and officiating on the side.
Okay.
So I'm very busy and starting to work on getting into makeup and getting into certification and all that good stuff. So
Cool.
yeah, I've got a full plate.
Sounds awesome. Hi, I'm Kieshon. I am a mother to a almost 5-month-old. And I also run a small business, K's Creative Workshop, and I make beauty products and other beauty accessories.
Yes. Welcome.
I'm Angela. I'm a certified public accountant here in the state of Colorado and a full-time working mom to a 10-year-old daughter, Aubrey. So interested to hear the perspectives as well.
Yeah.
I'm Andrea. I have a 5-year-old son, Terrell. We call him Bubba. And I'm venturing out trying to start my own business. So I'm interested in learning that, for those who have already, have their own businesses, just like, going from that, from working a day-to-day job. So
That's cool. Okay.
And I'm Raina. I have a 3-year-old son named Cairo, and I'm an RN, so we're full time.
Okay.
For those of you, I have 5. I have 1 bonus baby. He's 15. And then I have a 12-year-old, and then a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old. And I also am the founder of Water Me Sis. I have Untangle Me, which is my life coaching program. And yeah, I do a lot of things. Blossomberry parties. I do our lives, so I'm busy as well. So I can't wait to hear the perspectives of the different mothers here.
Okay, and I'm not a mom, so this makes it like super perfect for me because I get to know what a mom is like because I want to be one day. You know what I'm saying? So I want to just let everyone know, if it's your first time on this live, what Water Me Sis is about. Sis?
Yes. Water Me Sis is a sisterhood based off of the growth and the self-development of women. So the concept is we water each other. We want to produce the sweetest fruit and the most beautiful flowers. So we love on each other. We become each other's support systems. We share all types of things, remind each other to drink water, to exercise, to get some sunlight, to meditate. And we learn all sorts of things as far as feminine hygiene, yoni steaming, vajacials, everything. So there's nothing that's untouched. It's a safe space for just women to, have that network. And we know you fellows are watching out there on Water Me Sis Live. We do respect your opinion. We want to hear your input as well. But my advice to you is to simply take notes.
I was gonna say that's your thing, is to take notes.
All the notes. All right. So, ladies, what is your definition of a good mom? That's the first question I want to know. Anybody? You first?
Sure. To me, honestly, I think it's hard, and you're going to find different answers out of probably every single lady that is sitting here today. Because like I said, there's no manual to this thing. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone can relate, like just even up to the day, like when you know your baby's coming and it's time, you're like, do I have this together? All those plans you have go out the door, out the window, done, and you just kind of roll. Your baby's in control. You freestyle.
Oh.
The baby runs how this goes.
Oh, okay.
So, I guess it would just depend on each person. Like, for me, just being supportive, just understanding, just listening to your baby's needs, just being there for your baby. I don't know if there's really
like a set thing.
I don't think so.
Okay. Anybody else wanna?
And it's day to day. Let's add that.
Right.
You could have a good day. You could have a bad day where you may feel like the greatest mother on earth, and then there can be a day like I know I'm a workaholic. I know that. And so there could be a day where I'm spending like 12 to 15 hours working, and my baby's like, "Hi, Mom." I'm like, "Sorry, did you eat today?" So, I think that's an answer that you're going to find different from each lady sitting up here.
Anyone else?
So I just think a happy mom is the best mom. So as long as you're happy and as long as you're active in your child's life, you're perfect.
There you go.
There's different kinds of moms too. You've got the provider mom where maybe they're not with their babies as much, but at the same time, they've got someone who's taking care of their baby. They're providing, they're, working their butt off. You can't always do everything. So you've got that. You've got the mom that's always in their kid's face and they're 24/7 and they don't work, but they still make sure the kids' needs are met. You've got the mothers who become the bonus mothers.
Right.
It's like they're not yours by blood, but you're there for them. You take care for them and you balance your own kids. So I think there's no one definition to a good mom.
Right.
So long as your kids are taken care of, be it by you, be it by someone else, so long as you have the involvement and they know you're there.
Right.
I think that's what matters most in being a good mom.
Absolutely.
That's why I said a happy mom, because if you're not happy, you can't really do your best. And I feel like you just have to do your best.
But it's not realistic to always be happy.
Well, that was my thing. Is like that's the next thing. Is like sometimes we have those moments that are realistic to where you're like, I'm not at my best, but I'm sure during this time we'll probably talk about it. But then there comes your support system. Like, who do you have to pick that up when you are in those moments? Because that's the real part about being a mother. You can't always be at that point to where you are like just at 100.
Ready to go.
Who's your support system?
I have a plaque in my house when my kids came in. It says, "Good moms have sticky floors and dirty walls." So
everyone's alive.
You have to prioritize what's important. Clean the house or going to basketball practice or going to weight lift or homework or so.
Okay. To me, I would say a good mom is just being able to set your child up to, with the skills just to be able to just live life when they get older. Just building that foundation for them. Of course, not making the same mistakes that you made. I guess like just kind of teaching them, forming them into the person, the man or the woman that you want them to be as when they're older. And just giving them that foundation.
And then they won't, though. They won't be that.
I feel like, though, still, there's some things that you don't forget, though.
Right,
even though you might rebel or whatever, like, you'll always have that, in the back of your mind, like, okay, like my mom did teach me. Right. And then you'll decide to be, to make those decisions,
Yeah.
But it'll always be there. So I just think it's important to at least instill that, whoever, the type of person that you want your child to be.
Okay.
So.
And ladies, was it natural births, C-sections? So let's talk about it. Like,
I'll
break the ice.
Experience for anyone that is watching, if they know me, they know how dramatic I am. And so I did have to have a C-section. And I always make a joke and I say, God knew what he was doing. Because there was no way I was pushing out a baby out of there, because I probably would have been in intensive care. Like, I wouldn't have made it, okay? There's no way. So for me, it was a C-section.
That's what's so funny, because I've had 3 natural births and 1 C-section, and to me, I would have had I would have had the natural.
I'm saying like
I
it was
had
harder.
so much.
Yes,
it was harder to heal.
Yeah.
Like I felt like they tore me up.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
My last one, I had him natural, but I like the fact that I recovered like that.
Yeah.
Literally,
just give me
like
the squeeze
that.
bottle. Look,
Like
and I'm good.
Yeah. That's what I said. I was like, where's my
Mama's
turbo?
watching. We know what that squeezing bottle.
Yes.
Well, mine, I was 22 weeks when I found out I was pregnant with my son.
Wow.
So I had the better part of 3 months to plan. I went in thinking my water had broke, and it hadn't. So then they're like, okay, well, start walking. And all of a sudden I couldn't walk. I couldn't move. The cramps in my thighs were worse than my actual contractions. I couldn't feel the contractions.
Oh, wow.
And then it wasn't until it was almost too late. All of a sudden, they finally got it to where I could start trying to push, and it wasn't going well. The cord was around his neck. My blood pressure was spiking. It's like, all right, you need to stop. You need to take oxygen. You need to breathe to this. I'm like, no, I can't stop. I gotta push this. Like, come on. So they're, like push and roll, and every time they'd roll me on my side, my mom would get the oxygen mask on my ear, upside down on my eye, and I'm like, this is not going well. So finally I was like, all right, F people. Grabbed my thighs out of my friend's hands, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. So they had to force him out, because I wasn't gonna stop. And then I heard a student go, is it time for the C-section?
Really?
I was like, nope, done. So I
Really?
almost pushed
So you had
myself to
natural,
a
even though they
stroke.
said that the cord was. See, that's the thing.
Oh, wow.
That's why they said that I had to have a C-section. And I asked, like, can I just push and then, you can unwrap the cord? And they're like, we don't know how long it's going to take you to push them out of that little canal way.
Thank
And
God
they
I
could
was
be out of
lucky.
oxygen. So they scared me into getting a C-section. But it was a horrible recovery. But I'm
Mine
glad you were
wasn't
able
bad.
to do natural. Really?
Mine was not bad.
I mean, I had a 2nd-degree tear because they had to push him out with the forceps because I wouldn't stop. I was literally to the point of getting on a stroke. So then they got him out, and all of a sudden everything went fine except my blood pressure wouldn't come back down. Baby was great. So they're like, that was stupid, but whatever. 8 hours later, they still don't know what to do with me because I lost so much blood. They're like, we got to get her in the NICU. We got to get the baby taken care of. And then the nurses are like, no. She thinks she's fine. Let her go up to mom and baby. So finally the doctors surrendered to the nurses, so if it happens to her, you're done. I recovered just fine. Like, I had a longer recovery.
Right.
I had an awful recovery.
I was iron deficient.
Did you have
I had natural.
natural?
Okay. And I pushed for like 5 hours.
Oh,
Their
Lord.
limit's 4 hours, so they're like, Mike, can we just
Can I just
have
have
a
36 minutes?
It was awful.
I'm scared now because my first, I got it induced at 37 weeks because I had a liver disease. And it's this liver disease that only happens when you're pregnant. And then once you give birth, it goes away. So they were like, I have been telling them like, hey, my skin's itching really bad. Like, you guys need to do a test. And then I went in for a doctor's appointment, just a regular doctor's appointment. They was like, yeah, you're going to give birth today. And I had just packed the diaper bag. I was like, okay, well, can I go home? Y'all went home. I went to Wendy's. Came back like 3 hours later, like, okay, we're ready. And I was, they had me on like pickle. I can't remember what it's called. But it basically makes you have contractions. And so I was doing that for like 3 days. And then when it was time to push, my water had broke, and I just pushed for like 15 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like 7 really big pushes, and then he was out, and I was just looking, and I was in shock, and they was like, do you want to hold it? And I was just like, no. And they put him on me anyways,
and threw them on you too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
just right there. I was like, what's all this stuff on him? Why is his head like that? It was a lot.
Okay.
But that squirt bottle.
Okay, that's a lot too. Yes. Okay, a squirt bottle, eh?
Not just a squirt bottle.
So only moms know about this squirt bottle, obviously. You know, so
hold it down when you have to urinate.
Because that first
Same
time using the bathroom,
it
it's
burns.
like,
go ahead if you want to without that.
Oh my God. So fellas, you know, if you're just ready to pump away and get a girl pregnant, you know, you have to
think about these things.
She goes through these things. Okay? So squirt bottle. Get her the squirt. The hospital gives it. The hospital gives the squirt bottle. Make sure
in the bag.
Ask for another one. Look, ask for another one.
Right. All right, ladies. This is what I want to know: binky or no binky? Because it's like sometimes people are like, "Put the binky," because just shut them up, or what? What was y'all's?
My boobie was
I feel like it's a balance.
It depends on the baby for mine.
Okay. Some kids don't like
my baby
them.
didn't want a binky.
Correct.
He
There you
threw
go.
it. My other two, I had to hide them, and they found them, and I was like, "Where'd you get it?"
And my baby was obsessed with it at first, and then about 6 weeks in, you
gave it up. Okay.
He was just like, nope.
My baby only used the hospital binky, the little green one.
Yeah.
So we have to go buy them, and they're like $8.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So he likes the binky. Sometimes he doesn't want it though. Sometimes he will just like toss it out his mouth.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's okay because they need to exercise their voices. So sometimes I let him cry a little bit. Like, okay, you gotta talk soon.
I nursed, and they say don't do the binky if you're nursing because they can't tell the difference.
Right.
And so I nursed for maybe like a little over a year, and every now and then family members who would watch her while I was working would try to give her one, and she wouldn't take it. So boob or nothing.
Right.
I'd actually say binky, but I feel like I got a lot of pressure as my son got older from other moms. You had to get him off of me.
So we still got a binky.
But to me, it didn't bother me. It was soothing for him. It was more so of a shut up thing. Like he wouldn't cry. He was cool. If he had his old pacifier, he wouldn't. But as he got older, other moms were like, and then it just kind of messed everything up though. Like I felt like he was kind of like a late starter on everything because he was on a binky, and then like with the sippy cup, like going from breastfeeding to sippy cup. So it's like I was always that mom who were like, oh, your son's still on this, your son's still on that. So
that's another thing, living to the standard of other people. Like
The mom.
there's always gonna be somebody, especially your mama. If she's involved, really, she's gonna be like,
Right.
No.
Or the other grandma.
Yeah, right. Oh, yes.
Because my mother-in-law watched my son. So when I was ready to get him off bottle, she's like, that's his comfort, leave him be.
Yeah.
Well, then he ended up rotting out all his teeth because he was on the bottles with milk too much when he was sleeping.
Oh, like
so, we had a hard time where we were ready to move him up, and she's like, no. So what do you do?
Right. Because you could tell them, what you want them to do, and they still
let you walk out the door.
I'm
Get
different
back
with
real
my
quick.
family. I'm like very strict when it comes to my child. So if I tell you not to do something with him and you do it anyways, I feel pressure to take him away just because you don't respect my wishes as a parent.
Right.
So
we got Caressa and Renee. They're just telling us hello. They're waving to us.
Okay. Hey, Caressa, that's my peanut butter. My peanut butter. We peanut butter and jelly. That's my girl. Okay. So, but we're just gonna go ahead and take a break. So, we'll be back. welcome back to Water Me Sis Live. We're here with some beautiful moms today. I mean, like, come on. Look at the panel. Beautiful ladies. Today is Sprouts Raising the Next Generation. And so I basically told all the ladies, because I'm not a mom, but I already know this. I told them to take something out of their purse that is their kids. And I know that they had something in there that they kid put in their purse. They did something. Okay, so we're gonna have them explain what's in their purse, starting with Sis.
Yeah. So I have hush candy. Just, when you reach those hard moments where you need them to just be quiet or just chill for a minute, like give them a Jolly Rancher. They can suck on it for a minute and hush. That's why I call it hush candy.
Okay, ladies. No judgment.
Okay.
Actually, I don't care if you really know me. I don't care. So this is more geared towards the mom. So I found something that not necessarily my child. It's not Harper's.
Mm-hmm.
But when I looked in my purse, I didn't have nothing. But I did find a shooter of Tito's.
Okay.
It's mom related. Because you have that moment in the corner. And whatever you were just crying about.
Right.
So that was my thing that I found.
My kids are with me at work a lot, and my baby likes to take my phone, but I don't let them get on like YouTube and stuff and like that a lot. So my baby does vocabulary words, and he's like blah 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 because it's called speech blub. So I have to like turn it on, and he'd be like ta-da. When he says blah 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 and ta-da, he wants my phone, so I just be like, here you go.
You have 1,000 selfies from Speech Club.
Yeah, I do, and I'm looking at my phone like
it's funny. Harper has the same thing.
So
that is so
pictures like
cute.
old people.
Yeah.
You got a big old eyeball. You're like,
Okay,
So
Rachel.
mine's will be lip gloss. I have 4 daughters, so we always gotta look good at all times. So
Ooh,
that's the diva in him.
okay.
maybe what.
So I have my son's mask box with the COVID-19 because persons tend to have as much germs or more than a bathroom. So I find it easier when he takes his mask off, just put it in here, put it in my purse, and if he has to put it back on, at least it's not dirty from my purse on top of everything else.
Right.
And I can just throw it
Look
straight
at
to the
that.
washer
Good
at home.
idea.
So these are like 98 cents at Walmart.
Okay.
Smart. So I have a milk bag. So sometimes, like right now, when he's alone with his dad, I'll pump him some milk. And then, like, if I need to freeze it, or sometimes I make him applesauce, and I'll just, like, store it in here and put it in the freezer. And I have a little sock, the sock I've actually been looking for. So it just popped up in my purse. Just one, not 2.
Right.
And so-
You'll never have the other one.
Never have the other side.
Yeah, never.
Yeah.
So I mentioned my daughter's 10. I found this random lemon.
Okay.
I did not even know this was in my purse. I don't know how long it's been in my purse. But I do know that she likes chopping up lemons and putting them in her water to give her a little flavor. So she's probably looking for her lemon.
Right. Oh.
Mine's a sock too. I don't know how this got in here. I don't. But I'm like, is it clean?
I know
That's so funny.
I have a pull up and then a little tiger feet.
Oh,
So when you have kids, your purse doesn't belong to you anymore. It belongs to you and your kid because it's gonna have all of their stuff in there too.
Right.
So, ladies, I want to know, when you have a kid, is there any time for yourselves anymore?
Oh,
Like,
gosh.
can you take a bath? Like read a book, something.
I
Y'all
haven't taken a
taking a
bath
bath.
since I was
I come
like
out
3
again
months
to work.
pregnant.
Okay.
I feel like it changes throughout motherhood. So like when my daughter was really young, I took like 3-minute showers. Wash what you need to wash and get out. But now that she's older and just going through the motions, I think you have to make time for that self-care, and you have to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to be, like you said, the happy mom, or you know, you'll go crazy. So I had someone tell me when my daughter was maybe 2, like, you know, you need to step away, go read a book, like go hide in the bathroom, have that moment to just do what you want to do. So the bathroom was my best friend for a while. I had like some space in my closet, and then she found it. So yeah, I think you have to take time for yourself to continue to energize yourself. Like one of my favorite moms told me, you can't like pour from an empty cup. So you have to take that time. Even if you can't find it, find it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's definitely.
Mine's
the bathroom too, but I don't even have that privacy because even when I'm in there, you can see his little toes or his little fingers under the door. And I don't know if y'all ever seen that meme where the little boy's handing her the juice and shower the whole bed. That is my son. I can't even take a selfie without him in the corner. I'm like,
yep.
What's up?
And I think it has to do a lot with your support system as well.
Right.
Like for me, I will say like one of the I recognize and appreciate, like honestly, my husband was, my life has not changed as far as my personal time or space.
That's how I feel.
It hasn't. And so like I do have my moments to where I'm like, oh my gosh, I know I'm a workaholic, you know, I know maybe I should be a little bit more present in certain things, but I also know that he has her. And so in those moments, like to have someone to like, just do you go, you need this, that for me. So I got my moments, like it hasn't changed for me.
Yeah, I have 5 kids. I definitely have to find time. I really try and make sure like one day out of the weekend is mine, regardless. You know, basketball games, whether that's on you get there, is what it is. But I really try and find one day at least out of the weekend, one of the weekends to just do me, even if it's just to lay in the bed or I'm not making breakfast today, figure it out, you know.
When my baby was little, it was the guilt of, you know, taking that moment. So I had a second job working PRN as a tech for a pharmacy. So there were times where I just had to tell my mom I've got a shift, they need me. I'd make sure my baby was covered, but I'd go, even if I parked in a parking lot with some McDonald's for an hour, like I had to just do what I did. Cause, you know, like.
Yeah, you have to.
It
I
wasn't
just started
supportive for that
myself,
break.
honestly, like forcing myself to take that time. And it hurt because like just doing stuff like this, like right now I'm away from my kids, like this is for me. I enjoy doing this. But when my kids see me again, they'll be like, Mom, I thought I lost you. Like, where did you go? Like, they freak out when they don't see me.
Yes.
Even at nighttime, if I have to do something, or if I'm just out over here, like they can't sleep, they can't rest.
That's
like,
always gonna be.
I'm
like
their
that.
little maid,
So.
and
With
they
my
boss
mom,
me
I'm
around.
like, where have you been?
So they need
bossy,
me.
bossy kids. Kids are bossy. I learned that.
My grocery store is maybe 4 minutes away, and every time I come home, Harper's like, Mom, you're here. I'm like, hey, girl.
I like when you come back. Come here, like, I'm like, oh, somebody really loves me. Like, when I get home from this, my daughter's gonna be like, hey.
Right.
Oh, I'm here.
Right.
Yeah. Not now. My kid's into the video games. He's like, okay, Mom. I have to turn it off now.
Now I have the 3 toddlers, and they demand a lot of my time.
Yeah.
So just taking time to do this is a lot for them as my children. They have a wonderful dad. I don't even call and be like, how they doing? Like, no, you're with your dad. Bye. So you have to take time for yourself, for sure. And today's Selfish Sunday.
Yes.
I mean, how many of you guys actually did something for yourself?
Right.
Okay, if you did it, then do it.
Okay, right.
As long as you did something this week.
Yes, this week.
For yourself.
And went got my feet done. I'll never do
Yes,
that's good.
So I'm not going to do the Selfish Sunday this episode. I'm going to wait and do it later because I feel like some people need more time. And 5 p.m. is just too soon. Like some people gotta wait to put their kids to bed. So I am going to do Selfish Sunday later on today. So look out for that. So get it in, y'all. Ladies on Water Me Sis, do something for yourself. Go to the page, post it on the thread, and I'll enter your name into a hat, and I'll pull it later, and I'll send you a Cash App $20 just for doing something for yourself. Like forced. It could be 10 minutes, 30 minutes. Take the whole day if you want to.
Just
Okay.
get some lotion and rub your own
rub your
feet.
body.
Like, put on some music and rub your own feet. I mean, it takes a few seconds,
And that was
rub
for
your
yourself.
hands and,
Mhm.
put some lotion on yourself. Say something nice about yourself.
Yes.
Like, that just takes a few minutes, All right, ladies. Well, I want to know, when is it time to start educating your kids? Like, when should they start? You start like teaching them their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and all that right away. Right away from like
Right out.
when
Yeah,
Oh,
like
right
away.
See?
Well, they say
My
you should
baby-
read to your baby while they're like in your stomach.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
so
like,
I
right,
do
so
that
you
all the
ready.
time.
Let them listen to
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, like
So
even
we
off
were-
camera earlier, I'm like stressing about a 3-year-old starting private school tomorrow. She's 3, but still, she started early. She's been in school her entire little life. So
Yeah, you
cool.
started
right away.
Right
Yeah.
away.
Never too
Out the-
early. Whenever
Not
you
even
start.
out the womb. Like when
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
little
I'd
kids.
expect him. This little girl talks to me like she's an adult. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, you can tell the difference though between like the kids who have like really good vocabularies, like they just learn faster when you start talking to them sooner. I didn't do a lot of like goo goo gaga with my daughter.
Yeah.
Everyone else
Yeah.
did, and I'm like, do
Okay.
you want your bottle?
Yeah.
That's
Like,
like
yeah.
but
Ever
now
since
her
I'm like, what do you want to eat for
preference-
dinner?
Yeah.
No, she's like, I like a hot dog, pizza, strawberry, and ice cream. I'm like,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I disagree with that. I didn't goo goo gaga my daughter, but she still needed speech therapy. So I disagree with that.
Well, I was gonna
Okay.
say that
Yeah,
it's true
it's
too, because it
differs.
doesn't always. Because sometimes some words I used to be worried about my daughter, like I can understand her, but can others? I used to be worried about that. And I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying,
And
so
she
I don't
was
think it's
6,
like
so
that.
she was the youngest. So she had 4 other siblings to talk
To talk to
directly.
you.
Not,
Yeah, so that's not
So
always
yeah,
true.
no.
Yeah.
She's out of 5 kids. It's only one that needed speech therapy.
That
And I
goes
think
back
and
to
that goes
our
back
there's
to
no
it varying.
manual. to
Yeah,
this.
there's no manual. Yeah, because
Every
you always
child
have
is
that one.
different. You know, every
I don't goo
child
goo
is
gaga
different.
mine either, but of course other people around you
Right.
do.
They do.
But
Right.
every child is different because I do ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, and I have a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old. But like you can have a full-on conversation with my 2-year-old and understand exactly what he's saying and stuff like that. My 3-year-old is older, but some of his stuff is still a little slurred, like baby talk. You can't really make it out. And then I knew a baby who didn't talk till they were like 4 or 5, and then they're the most intelligent child you've ever met.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
just differs, I guess, with every child.
Yes.
My 6-year-old talks so fluent than my 10-year-old. So I'm like, and like I said, she's the only one that did speech therapy. I'm like, that word is entirely too big for you.
Right? How did you
Right.
Yeah.
So were there like specific things that you guys use, like books that you read to your kids, or tell everyone about some programs?
I think we both use speech play.
Yeah, speech
I
clubs.
love
I
it.
like it.
Okay.
Love
Coco
baby likes
Melon,
It's
Dave
fun.
and Ava,
Yeah.
flashcards. Right. My baby loves Coco Melon.
Well, when my baby was young, like second day in the hospital, we were practicing left and right, where I would just pinch his foot and be like, which one's left, which one's right, and he just started getting it right. So he knew that right off the bat. He still knows left and right really well.
That's cool.
Like when it came
That's
to
good.
colors, I'd give him
Adults don't know
choices,
that.
and I'd be like, blue or purple.
Like I was happy.
Yeah. So he learned a lot of the colors right away because I was always like showing him different and making him pick out of the 2.
Good.
And just being creative with it. I had a really great, she was like a caretaker nanny, if you will, and Aubrey was her only child, so she would paint her fingernails of a different color, and that's how she taught Aubrey her colors. And I would have never thought of that. So.
Right. When I made my kid a boredom buster box, so it had like a little fishing game out of felt fish that I put a paper clip in with a little magnet on a fishing rod. And I do letters, I did numbers.
You're always really creative.
Oh my gosh, I did
Some
yarns,
pellets,
some
I
stuff.
had clothespins that he could clip to the colors.
Yeah.
So matching. So we did all kinds of stuff like that with shapes.
Early years were easy for me because even though I do hair and stuff, early childhood is my first background. So I did that for like 10 years full time before I started doing hair. So I was a preschool teacher, so a lot of stuff I kind of like, y'all gotta learn this stuff.
Right.
And if you don't know it, that's my fault.
Right.
So yeah, that was easy. But once they got like 4 and up, I was like, yeah. So what we about to do? Because that 4-year-olds, I'll be like,
You know what's funny? How I kind of rushed it with ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. And then one time we were out in public and somebody asked my child what they say. Something simple like, oh, well, how old are you? And they were like they know their numbers, but I didn't go over those things with you. Like if somebody asked you a question, you know how you answer. So I had to backtrack and start doing those. Like, oh, okay, my bad. Like you know your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s, but when somebody asks you a question, you need to know how to answer them and stuff. Like,
so what you're saying is that being a mom is basically trial and error. You know, like you're just gonna learn as you go. You know, and it's like you're a good mom because that's how you're doing it. You know, that's how you only know how to do it.
Sometimes. So good.
And what you do for one might not work for the next.
Right. Okay.
So you have to do different things. Like out of the 5, I can do 2 of the same things, but for the third one, I have to do something different. And then maybe because the other 2 are so young, it might work, it might not. So I have to try it. And then, you know.
For my son, like the way he learned was music. Like that's just like if we make something into a song, or like and that's easy for people when they remember that, you know. So that's the way that I would get him to learn his numbers and letters. Like I would have to turn it into a 1, 2, 3, 4. You know,
exactly. I think that's what I would do because I love music. So I would be like, hey, Abby.
Guys, Niecy is on our live, and she did do something for herself today. She said she slept today.
I know that's right.
She said that was selfish of me. I love naps, okay?
Me too.
I make the executive decision sometimes when I'm like, do I want to, you know, fold up those clothes right there or take a nap with my kids? And I nap with my kids, so that's bomb. And then she says, I've always talked to my kids like they were normal people. I hate baby talk. Baby talk.
I struggle with that. Like I do talk to him like he's normal, but then sometimes I have like this thing where I'll just be like, hi, it's mommy.
But he's still so little.
I know.
Oh, his pediatrician just says, see, I don't talk to him like that. I just be like, oh, well, okay.
And it's so funny because I know you just had a baby, you know, 5 months ago. So it's funny seeing you now at that stage because I was like that with my first one. That's why I love those little commercials where they say first baby, and then you go to the second one.
You're all
like the first baby, you pass out the baby, like.
Because for real, you want to take that mouth.
Hand sanitizer before you touch the baby.
I feel like because of COVID, I'm like more worried about things than I would be if it wasn't COVID. Because if it wasn't COVID, I would always just like let him, you know, go on play dates or be watched by some of my friends that I trust. But like now I'm just like, oh, well, I don't know who's been at your house.
Right.
Yeah. You gotta come over here. You gotta wear a mask and wash your hands.
Yes. For sure.
That is funny. All right, so ladies, when is it time to give your kid responsibilities like chores and you know it's time to what? It's time to clean something. Take out the trash.
Harper cleans her room. She vacuums.
Really?
I'm like, if they know how to wash dishes, they know how to take them out.
I feel like she's doing stuff.
I think like for us girls, we're already prepared. Like we have the kitchens, we have the doll babies, we have the vacuum cleaners. So for my kids, it was 8 because they had that stuff already, so it's already kind of natural to them. But to push them on their own, they would do everything but the kitchen by themselves. So like my 10-year-old now, she started when she was 8, and she did the living room, the dining room. Now she's linking up with her older siblings to do the kitchen. So for my house, it was 8. So
like not even as far as chores, like. I noticed that I was babying my kids and I went to California to visit my mother-in-law and I was still helping my kids put their clothes on and stuff. And she's like, and she'd take the pants, like, here, put on your pants. Or she would let them try to put on their shoe until they just couldn't anymore and then she'd help and show them. But she basically was saying, let them do some things themselves. Like they could put on their own underwear and try to put on their own socks and stuff like that. Because I was babying them.
A funny story behind that because that's how Harper is. Harper's very independent. But she puts her panties on sideways, and I like almost cry, and I can't help her because she doesn't want me to. And I'm like, I know that hurts. Like you see this one little cheek stick, and she's like, no, mom,
I'm good.
I'm good, and it's sideways, and she goes the whole day, and I'm like, I think every little girl goes through that.
Like a lot of stuff a game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like Andrew's mom, when she'd have Alex, she'd give him a rag and be like, "Hey, let's go wipe this
just
down."
wipe stuff down.
You know, like he'll go out and he'll pick the weeds with her.
Oh, that's
Like
cool.
so
That's how I
we
used to
started
trick my
little
brother.
stuff, and then now that he's bigger, it's teaching him how to clean the bathroom.
Right.
So I basically put and let him do just water to wipe everything down. So he's kind of like pre-soaking it for me.
Right.
I'll do the rest and then I'll let him follow up. So he's learning the little stuff.
Yeah.
Dishes, I'd let him just kind of play with the cups, with the water, and then I'd go through and hardcore clean them. So, he thought he was doing better than he actually would as a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, but it works out
You? I know you got a 10-year-old.
Yeah, so she is just starting laundry, but I'm always like hesitant because I don't want,
Come back and there's
and-
bubbles everywhere.
So I had to start sorting the laundry a long time ago. You have to at least sort, and you have to watch me put it in the washer so you get an idea of like what I'm doing. And now she's folding, but she just had her 10-year appointment sometime last week, and you know how they give you the long sheet of what your kid should be doing, and it said laundry, and I'm like, oh, bet, like you're doing your own laundry. Right? So that's our new adventure. But she'll do like the kitchen. She does the dishes by herself. She would like unload or load the dishwasher. She had a chore like that. But I think giving it to him a little at a time rather than like load the dishwasher and then come back and unload it. Like, you will only load or you'll only unload. And then as she gets older, I give her the whole task.
But even though you give them their independency on as far as doing chores, you still have to go back and double check.
Right.
Fix it.
Yeah.
How the
Mhm.
17-year-old still have to do that.
I still have to babysit you to do everything.
Oh,
But that's the thing too that I've learned, like, I couldn't wait to get my baby girl, okay? 4 boys, 1 girl. And I love my baby, but my mom always says if I would have had her first, I would have had more help because my boys are so lazy, But then I'll go see other families and how they have that daughter there that's so helpful. She's like the second mommy. Like, she loves being there for her siblings and helping them and, like, all that stuff. And my mom's always telling my 12-year-old, like, be happy that you're a boy, because if you were a girl, you'd be changing diapers, you'd be, making bottles, all types of stuff like that. So I don't require too much.
That's
of my
He's
boys,
opposite.
unfortunately.
Like my little brother, he is like my little helping hand. Like my baby, he will cry with everyone except for me and my little brother. Like his Gigi, he'll look at her, start crying.
How
she's
old
like-
is your
My little brother, he's 15 or 16.
Okay.
I don't know the exact thing. Somewhere around there. But yeah, he's like really super great with my baby, and I love it. And then I'm kind of training my baby now to do some things by himself. So, like when he turned 3 months, I started like putting the pacifier right in front of his face, like, hey, if you want it, grab it.
Right.
And so now he'll snatch it out of my hand. So he'll just put it in his mouth, and he's crazy because he doesn't like to actually suck on like the pacifier part. He likes to flip it around and suck on the little part that you're supposed to hold it in your hand with.
And
So
chew.
and just chew it because he's teething really hard. So he's just like just chewing on it. I don't miss that.
I mean, are you breastfeeding too?
Yes, I do.
How many of us breastfed their babies? Yeah.
Didn't last long, but it did.
I breastfed all mine.
I felt like a failure when I couldn't, because I was told with my insurance I would get a pump, and then when I had him, I was like, when do I get my pump? And like, oh, well, your insurance doesn't cover that. So all of a sudden my milk came in, and I was so hard he couldn't latch. And like we called every place across town trying to find a pump that we couldn't find. So I felt like a failure. I still do.
Not all moms breastfeed, and that's totally fine.
Because I know if I was to do it
Okay.
again, honestly, I would not. I did it the first time, but I was like so over it to where I'm like, I would never do it again.
It's okay. You're not a failure. And I want all the moms to know that are watching now. Like, everything is different for every mom. So whether you breastfed, whether you didn't, that doesn't make you a failure. Because I know some moms think too, like when they have C-sections, like they're so down on themselves because they had to have a birth differently. But
I was like, thank you, Lord.
yeah, like you're not a
There was no
failure.
way.
Everything
Yeah,
is
no,
different. So
you're not.
whatever works for you,
No
and I just hate
babies
that you
coming
didn't
out
have
of
that
that.
support. Because I do know some programs. I don't know if maybe you didn't have it back then, but I wish I would have known you to have you like reach out to WIC or something like that.
A
They give breast
lactation
pumps.
counselor
Yeah.
or something like that. So that's how I like learned. Like sometimes y'all, I don't be having my pump, and I'll hand express into like a water bottle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
I was
something.
literally over the bowl like a cow, just trying to get anything out I could.
Yeah.
Like, it was a hard thing for me.
All right, ladies. Well, we are going to go ahead and take a quick break. So we'll see you in a minute.
Thank you, folks.
Welcome back to Water Me Sis Live. We are talking about our sprouts. I don't have one, but they have all these beautiful ladies here. They have sprouts, raising the next generation. And we're just going to switch it up a little bit. And I want to know, ladies, when is it time to start teaching your kids about sex?
I'd say like 9.
9.
Especially nowadays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to do it first.
He's
Right.
6. Like,
Oh,
he's
wow.
known because he was 4 years old and he asked me where babies came from. And I was like, all right, I'm going to be upfront with you. This is what it is. And, you know, like my nieces know less and they're teenagers. But, you know, I was like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Me neither.
Be careful who you talk to about it. Don't go around blurting it. Like, he still doesn't use the technical terms. But he knows at a fundamental basis what it is.
Okay. For me, I'm kind of like, and maybe y'all might say that this or not, so I want to hear y'all's opinion on it. But I'm kind of leaving it up to his dad. I just feel like since he is a boy, like I just don't really feel like I can give that insight. Like I remember he asked me one time. My son's 5. He asked me where he asked where babies came from, and I think I told him like that women poop them out. I was just uncomfortable, you know, talking about it.
I said the same thing, and my son was like, "Is that why my nickname is Boo Boo?" I said, "No." I'm like, no, that's because I pooped when I had you.
They tell you to bear down like you're gonna poop.
But just
like
even
they tell you
answer
that in the
that, it is
hospital.
important because I'm not sure what age when that conversation comes, but I will have that conversation because my parents, especially our father, he had lots of girls, a couple boys. I did not have that conversation, and I used to think that one time this boy from, I think I was in elementary school, maybe even middle school, because I don't know, I was in middle school. And I remember he ran up and kissed me on my lips, and I swore I was pregnant. I was crying. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a bath. Get this baby out of here." So I think it's important to have that conversation. I don't know.
So we heard the bed. You know,
Oh,
my
dang.
parents were very honest with us.
Right.
No, that's
parents
embarrassing.
had bells on their bed. Oh my God, like Santa Claus coming again?
No.
There are bells on their bed. She's like, girl, they just in there being nasty.
Oh, no.
I think I was honest with us what it was.
I've been honest as well. Like I remember, I think my son was 8 when he asked me what aphrodisiac was.
Oh,
Wow.
dang it.
Yes,
Yeah,
and I told him the truth.
Look.
I know it's uncomfortable, but I just know that you shouldn't sugarcoat things with kids because if you don't teach them the correct term, they'll go learn it from somebody else, and you don't want somebody else to give them that interpretation of whatever it is.
Yeah.
I even heard don't give kids like nicknames for their private areas.
Yeah.
You know, because there was a teacher one time that said a little girl came to school one time and said that her uncle licked her cookie. And she was like, well, did you get another one? Like, did you pick up another cookie?
Right.
You know, but he was actually sexually abusing her.
Yeah.
And she called her private area, her vagina, a cookie.
Yeah.
So I heard don't give the nicknames when it comes to that too.
Yeah, my sister's a social worker, and she said it's so much harder in court to prosecute someone when they have that nickname because they can say it's anything. So my daughter, she knows everything. Like, don't let anyone touch you here. This is your vagina. These are your breasts. Like, if you want to call them something else, you can, but let's at least know the technical term.
There was even certain points in time where just randomly I would have those talks. You know, like with my 12-year-old, I pull him to the side and be like, okay, you know, this is this is that. These are your private areas. Has anyone touched you in this area? You know, and then hear what he has to say and then basically tell him, okay, well, you protect this. This is yours. This is your safe space. You don't let anybody, you know, you have to have those conversations with kids. Every so often, just out of the blue, if you remember, do it. You know, have those tough conversations because I don't trust people around my kids.
Yeah, I say it often with my daughter. I just was at a doctor's appointment with her, and you know they're doing checks and stuff, going back to school, physicals, and the doctor's like, because I tell her all the time, don't let nobody touch your pants, don't let nobody pull your pants, none of that, you know, all of that. And the doctor was like, you know, with mommy and you, I need permission to, you know, check down there. She's like, I'm just gonna check. My daughter went crazy, and I was like, girl, well, she was like, you said don't let nobody know. I was like, I did. I was like, but we're giving the doctor permission. I was like, I'm standing right here. I was like, you don't do it in public. I was like, yeah, like,
right, you can't get mad at her.
I was just like,
I
I
mean,
was like, it's the doctor. And I was like,
there's
okay.
times with my son where I just try to check him for, you know, hygiene reasons. You know, he prefers to do it with his dad, but sometimes I check, you know. And there's times where he'll tell me, well, because you're my mommy, it's okay, and the doctor. So, like, he already knows the people that are allowed to touch it. But, like, even it's a touchy subject, you know, for kids.
Yeah, I like how you said, too, like, ask them, has anyone ever touched you here? Because, you know, oftentimes, like, those people tell them, oh, don't tell your parents, I'm going to do this to your parents. I'm like, I don't care what they said they're going to do to me. Like, tell me if somebody even looks there or asks you, right? They don't even have to touch you, but if they asked you or if they saw it, like, let's talk about it.
It really pays off to have that communication and that relationship with your kids.
Yes.
And I say that because I have teenagers and I have one that's almost grown. She's grown next year. And I tell them, you know, I'd be like, despite of how upset I'm going to get, how disappointed you think I might get, but I need to know and you need to tell me. So that communication is very important.
Okay.
It's also important that your kids know that you can be that person.
Right. Say that.
I mean, there's so many kids out there that because they think their mom's gonna get mad or dad's gonna kill me, they won't say it when they really should.
And I know for a fact you do have to keep telling them and instilling into their mind that you do care and that you know, need to be informed that if somebody does do that to you, it's on.
You're right.
Yeah, it's on and popping.
Right.
Need some bail money.
Yes.
Right.
Bail
Being there
money.
forever, okay? Like, I'm going down.
Yeah,
It's
they're
going
not gonna be
down.
able to bail me out.
Right, exactly. Because
No ma'am.
I'll just be in there in the cell, like, chilling. But, all right, ladies, I want to know, now that you guys have kids, do you have time for sex?
Oh, make time.
Oh, okay,
Most
okay.
definitely.
Most definitely. Okay, so they know everybody's good on that area. Okay. So everybody's like making like, let's make some more kids, or
Me and my
okay.
Let's make a few.
Okay.
I feel like it changed. Like once I had a son, like that drive kind of went down for me.
Same.
So it's not more so just the time; it was just like wanting to, you know. So that was hard dealing with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Same here. And I mean, when I had my son, I was in nursing school, so I was so busy, and it just was like the last thing on my mind. So.
Okay.
When I
Go ahead.
Go ahead. It's okay.
So like for ours, we have a hard time just space-wise, you know, being able to make that a priority. And then after having my son, like I have all these health issues that pop up because your body changes. So all of a sudden, like even though we could, sometimes I just don't feel sexy enough to. And I think there's a lot of guilt that comes with a lot of mothers over that too, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
I did have my decline in my sex drive at first, but then it came to a point I was like, closet, pantry, like they napping, you know. You gotta kind of like sneak it in whenever, like make that time for it.
Okay. Well, I gave you guys a sheet with a pen, and I just wanted to do this real quick. You know, for everybody that's out there, and you're a mom, you're not a mom. The paper that I'm giving them, this is just like a game that you would actually play at like a baby shower or something like that. And I just thought, because it's moms, let's see if you can do it. So
While you
what
guys
it
are finding
says,
that paper, I just want to shout out some comments, if that's okay.
Yeah.
While you guys are pulling out the paper. So Neezy said, I never breastfed my babies and they are totally healthy and smart. So, I mean, you can hear that. Not everybody decides to breastfeed. And then it says, yeah, as far as talking to your kids about that, you know, privacy and space and stuff, she says, mom's favorite line is, tell me so I can handle it. And I'm the same way. Tell me so I can let, you know I got your back. Like, as long as your kids know that you got their back, they'll feel comfortable talking to you about those types of things. And I agree.
Yeah.
So thank you for your input, Neezy.
Yes, thank you. All
Everybody
right.
got their papers?
Everyone has their papers, and let me see yours real quick. I won't have it. Basically says,
oh look, she cheated.
If I'm going
she
out,
started. She cheated, y'all. I'm kidding.
if I'm going out for the day, name 15 items I will need in my diaper bag. I think that, let's see how many you can get, and I'm gonna tell you when to start.
I can say I haven't had a diaper bag
Okay.
in so long.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
Well,
know
sometimes
you start with two.
I'm like, you want the
one for
whip?
mom and
Okay, well,
baby.
we're gonna see. Go ahead and put it in the comments if you have some, and start. Hey, hey.
Jolly. What's up?
Okay. Can you do it? Can you do it?
Look, well, I don't even write. I do hair all day. This
I know, I'm like,
Jay,
I'm
you
trying
trying
to
to do
make
it,
my-
girl.
No.
Bye.
Look at that cheek
you give
scratch.
some like bougie stuff.
As long
that
as
people
you
would
can read it.
Not the items.
I'm gonna give you guys a little minute.
Done. 15. I'm done.
Oh, she done. Okay, she done. Listen, dang, you type fast. Go ahead, girl.
Oh, I should have did that.
All right, ladies, and stop.
I really don't put that much in my
Dun,
water.
dun, 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 dun.
That is like short.
That's why I have to be like,
15 items.
Well,
What just hurt?
Okay, well, I mean,
I got
I was trying, I was like, should I do how many items? I thought if you're a mom, you would know something. I don't know what to put in there. So can y'all tell me, please? What
Well,
you
I
got?
guess it depends though, because fresh
And the
baby,
age,
you
yeah.
pack too much. You pack everything, and as they get older, you just grab a diaper and some wipes, and you be out. You know.
For me right now,
Okay.
because Harper is 3 and she has to pee every 2 minutes, it's like the toilet seat covers, like, because sitting on a public seat toilet is just, so.
You have
I
like
have-
one of those little like small little
No,
toilet
those
things
gross me
that you
out.
put
So
on.
no, just the straight up the covers. They have covers on Amazon that you guys can get. 10 pack for like $8. Those are important to her. Fruit snacks or stuffed animal. Extra wipes, like baby wipes. We still use those. I always carry extra panties, extra clothes, extra shoes because she will lose one randomly. Hairbrush, water, ice water, her little cup, depending on her mood. Which cup? Those are some of the things that
I know.
She gets to choose which cup.
Princess.
That's cool. Anybody else want to share?
I always carried spare clothes, an empty Ziploc gallon bag, because you never know when you need to put the messy clothes away without getting everything dirty. We had these thick washable changing pads that were a godsend, because they were bigger than anything that comes with your diaper bag.
Okay.
They made these little baby powder smelling baggies that you can put the diaper in, so you can't throw it away right away.
Okay.
Your stuff don't stink.
Right.
Toys, bottle of water. I always had to have cookies or snacks. I always had a card with all the phone numbers I needed in case of emergency. But I'm the person that does not carry a bag. I only have a purse today because I brought my makeup.
Right.
So I was like, diaper in one pocket, some wipes in the other pocket, and we are walking.
Okay. Right.
Like it would stay in the car. We'll just come back if we need it.
Anybody else?
So my diaper bag's a little different.
Okay.
So mine is, so I did what applied to me today. So mine is basketball socks, shoes, snacks, water bottle, uniform,
Yeah.
lotion,
Right.
so bench seat. So mine's is a little.
You got a duffel bag.
Yeah.
She got a duffel bag.
It's going to 4 months, y'all.
Same thing, football.
That's
So
cool.
mine's is a little different.
I like the fact that it's definitely different levels to this. You know,
Yeah, I
it's
think
your diaper
different
bag
ages.
changes up.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a
Yeah.
diaper bag; it's a duffel bag. You know what I mean? Like, so that was like really awesome. Okay, so we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 15. Okay, so I have some questions and I'm gonna go all the way down the line. You have the ability to plead the fifth and be like, I don't want to answer that. I'm good. So first question is, would you rather stay at home or go out?
Like what you
Like
mean, like go out to
socially?
work or like?
Yeah.
Are you a stay at home body or do you
Like
like to go out
homebody.
socially?
I'm in between, so it just depends. Like depends on the work week, depends on Harper's mood, depends on the household's mood. I mean, sometimes I just would rather prefer to spend time at home, but sometimes I want to get out. I'm a social butterfly too, so depends.
Especially if I have my kids, I prefer to get out.
Bye.
Yeah, because they'd be all over the place. I'm like, so myself personally, because I'm always at work and around a lot of people, I prefer to. I don't know. It depends. So sometimes I do just want to stay home. I just be trying to sleep sometimes. I be tired.
Right. So making that money, honey. Oh, I just wanted to say, I don't know if she knows, but she's the only one that touches my hair. You know, like period, point blank period. I do it in between. She started our locks. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and check her out. She's the only one that puts her hands in my hair. Okay, and her sister has a whole product. Okay, she didn't even tell us about that, but you know.
Oh, I was getting it.
Okay, come on.
Okay, we have a hair and skincare company called POA Naturals. It's hair and skin. Got oils, body butters, skin scrubs for men and women. It's all hyperallergenic. Kids can use it. Anybody can use it. Just because we're African American don't mean that you can't use it. Like I said, it's for natural hair, so.
Okay.
And it smells good.
It does. Mm-hmm. Okay, back to the question. I just had to let y'all know that.
Yeah.
All right, so would you rather go out or?
It depends. I'm a homebody, but I can only be at home for so long.
Okay.
And then I have to do something, but if I had to, I wouldn't mind being at home. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm more out. When my kiddo was born, I was living in a not so healthy household, so I was never wanting to be home. Now that I'm in a better position, I don't mind staying home, but I'm tired of it with COVID. Get me out.
Right.
Let's just go.
For real.
I like to have social gatherings at my house.
Okay.
I don't like to go to other people's houses. I don't like to go to parties. I mean, I like small events, but I'd rather like have a friend come over for dinner. Let's have a couples night. Let's watch some movies together, or let's play dominoes, like something, but at my house.
Right.
Because I can kick you out when I feel.
Right. Yeah, same. I like doing social things at my house, so game nights or wine nights, things like that. And then every now and then I'll go out. Oddly enough, I enjoyed going out more when my daughter was younger, but now that she's older and can like see me going out, I feel like she's more judgy. Like, oh, so
like, where you going?
Yeah.
We're not friends no more. Now
Right.
Double digits, mom.
Mine's out. For sure.
Okay.
I think gosh, I don't know. I spend so much energy like at work. So I work night shift at the hospital, so I spend so much energy giving to other people that it's nice to just be at home most of the time and just like not talk to anybody. I'll literally just lay in bed all day. But sometimes I like to go out or I like to have people over, but every now and then I really just have to like decompress.
Okay. And do you consider yourself a soccer mom or a MILF?
I'm a hood milk.
Hey.
Like very sophisticated with hood at the same time. So
Okay.
I'm not I can be whatever she needs me to be, but my personality probably a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking that milk card.
Yes.
We both.
So, bro.
As much as my kids play sports and stuff, I'm a MILF.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm like the anti-soccer mom. I'm not quite the MILF either, so I'm probably somewhere in the middle.
Okay. Right. Exactly.
That's all
Girl, you
mine.
better be a
All right, I'll be the MILF.
I'm like somewhere in I don't know. I feel like right now I'm a MILF, but when he gets older, I might be that soccer mom. Like,
You can do both.
yeah.
Yeah, probably more the MILF side. I thought I was gonna be the soccer mom for a little bit, but that takes a lot of energy.
Yes, it does.
I mean, look at me.
Right. Like, come on. Daddy.
Go. I think I'm more in the middle, but I'm trying to work more on the milk side.
Okay.
Everybody was like,
Okay. What is one thing you will sneak and eat away from your kids?
it's not everything.
Right. Everything I eat, I'm hiding.
Everything y'all like, is that it?
Ice.
Like,
Because I'll
Ice.
sit there and
Ice,
eat in front
yes.
of my baby's face. I'll take the spoon and I'll kind of move it. His face will be like,
That's the
Wait
new
till
mom
it's too
answer.
late.
Right. She's still sharing.
Yeah.
I'm not sharing.
Mine took
can
it over.
actually
Mine is
share it.
Chipotle. I hate sharing Chipotle. And the little girl took it last time, dipped it in
She said the
guacamole,
little
and the
girl.
burrito was bigger than hers. Yeah, the little girl.
The little
I
girl.
work. She don't deserve Chipotle. It's too expensive. Or crab legs. Like I was so upset when she was like, "Mom, I need," but she pointed at the butter. I'm like, "You don't get butter. This is an expensive habit. You're too broke for this."
I got crab legs
My
as a
broke
kid.
little best friend, she be tearing it up. The waiter was like, "So should we get the girls one for them?" I said, "No, our daughter
No.
need pound themselves."
Right.
We had 3 girls with us, and I was like,
Yeah, like they don't. I mean, we love them, but they don't get what we want.
Right, I have to literally sneak Asian Cajuns when my kids is with their grandmother.
Okay.
But they'll come back and it'll be in the house, so they'll be like, "Mom."
No, right.
"So you had."
Right. That is funny. Anybody else want to
You
share?
know we the kids, right?
Oh, okay.
My
Still
son's
sharing.
older, you know, but I don't really have diet. I'm trying to get my son to eat more.
That's what I'm trying to
So I don't really have diet.
Oh,
A lot of stuff he
girl.
doesn't really
Hot dogs.
like the stuff I eat anyway.
Don't push that too
My son
early.
doesn't either. All he'll eat is hot dogs. He'll go. I'm like, no, we're not having hot dogs. He'll go days without eating anything. So I'm like, okay, you need something to eat.
Yeah.
I'm that
You have to
mom.
eat hot dogs.
There was a meme that went around on Facebook of a mom. She had like a hamburger and like some fries and a drink, and it was like on your way home to make your kids
Yes,
some
some
hot
hot
dogs. I'm that mom. Like before I get home, I'll spoil myself, and then
My
I'll come
sisters
home
and I,
make
we
you
call
some.
those sneak attacks.
Yeah.
I be having a guilty conscience like
No,
that.
Like,
I'll stop and eat
We
something
take
like
photos.
that for
Spray the air
myself.
freshener and the best sprays. So you
Yeah.
can't smell it on you when you walk in the house.
They have like
My
this,
daughter smelled on my breath.
pacifier. It's like a little mesh pacifier. You like put the
Oh, yeah, the
fruit.
fruit.
Yeah.
My baby loves it so much.
Yeah.
He'll just take it. He won't even hold the little pacifier, like the hand part. He'll just take it and he'll squish
Squeeze
it
it,
into
yeah.
his mouth.
I
I'm
love
like,
those
whenever I eat
things.
some fruit, he eats some fruit too.
Yeah.
Okay. Couple more questions. Would you rather bring home the bacon, just eat the bacon, or both?
Both.
I'm a busybody. I need to stop eating bacon. So I'm a busybody. I like to work, and I don't see nothing wrong with it. And I also respect the stay-at-home mother as well. So for me, like I cannot. Like I think I did 6 months when I was home, and I was just probably annoying and losing my mind. And I'm that working mom.
Same.
Yeah, I
Same,
couldn't
me
handle
too.
being home. I go nuts.
I'm both. There's days where I want to go make the bread. I'm a workaholic too. I'm a Capricorn. That's what we do. But then there's days I wake up and I just want to live the lavish life. Like I just want to go to the hair salon. I go to the nail shop, or so I want both. I want my cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where it comes in, where I really need to work on that business so I can do that.
Okay.
I guess I'm technically a stay-at-home mom. So my husband, he does provide for our family financially. My business is just like for me, for the future, just like building something so that when he is older, I have something to do.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is a business. It's been doing well since I started in June. And I have it registered with the state now. So I'm like just really hoping that I get to like the point that I want to be in 5 years. I want to have like my own spa. And so next year I'll be going back to school. And I don't know what exactly I want to do.
I mean, you're doing amazing.
Yeah.
For her to be so young, like,
Yes.
tell them about your event.
So I'm having a pop-up market. It's all women vendors. They all are women of color. And it's just gonna be us there selling stuff. Water Me Sis was so nice to sponsor a bounce house for us.
Yes.
So, you know, you can come, you can bring your kids, they can play, you can visit our vendors. We have treats, we have, you know, hair products, clothing, skin products. Like we have something for everyone. We have a food truck. It's gonna be really nice.
Okay.
Country Lane Park on
Mhm.
September 5th
Yes.
from
thank
11
you.
to 3.
Yes,
That's
please
right.
come.
There will be armed security there. You know, I know there's been some things that have been happening around Denver and Colorado and stuff. So just know that if you do come, it'll be a safe place. Like you'll feel protected and you can have fun. It's a family event. Bring your kids.
Yes, it is.
Okay? And it's so organized and like everybody who is involved is like playing their part and they really want to, they're entrepreneurs. So they want themselves to win as long as everybody else. I know it's going to be a great event. So please come out. and support.
Yes, thank you.
She's doing an amazing job.
Hey, I did it too. So anybody else want to say anything about that question? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, well, moving on. On a girls' trip to New Orleans, are you getting your beads or are you passing? I'm getting
I'm not getting
last year, but I will get my beads.
You okay? You know okay.
That's what
Okay, so everyone doesn't know.
I'll pass them out.
Okay.
Flash them to me, I'll throw you some.
Okay, okay, so we got some that will do it and some that'll pass. They'll probably be like, well, go ahead, girl.
Right, I'll be like,
yeah, I'll be like, that's fine.
One thing I feel sexy about is the girls. So I will get all of these.
Okay.
Brittney showing booty.
Brittney, like, here you go.
That's cool. That's cool.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming to our Water Meets This Live. I had a ball and I learned so much about being a mom. And it sounds like everyone here, you guys are wonderful moms. And know that and continue. And now I know I have some examples, you know, and I'll be like, I'm gonna call you, like, girl, what do I do?
Right.
You know, like,
That's cool. I do want to say for the members, just last minute thing to get in. We're having another event, our Work It Sis Pole Night.
yes.
Okay, so if you want to come work the pole, okay, look in our event section and hit me up, send me a DM. I still have some spaces to fill. 5 o'clock is completely full. I have 2 spaces left for 3 p.m. and 4 spaces left for 4 p.m. So $20. You spend an hour with Marquette. She's pretty cool. She can twerk it. She's a champ.
Yes,
So,
I was sore.
Yeah.
Like after that, I was just like, ooh, I can barely sit down. But when I was there, though, I was getting it in.
Not going to come on the table. But don't be embarrassed if you've never tried it. Like, now would be the time to try it when you're around your sisters and your sisterhood. Like, be vulnerable around us. You know, learn it for the first time. It's so much fun. So yes, sign up for that if you can.
All right.
Anything else?
No.
Anyone else want to share? Anything going on that you think would be helpful for anyone to know?
For me, I just think that, like we talked about earlier, there's no manual to this. And I did not realize how amazing and how strong and how wonderful that women are in general until you have that child. So everybody, I would just say to just keep doing, I mean, your kids, child, whatever, they think that you are the best thing in the world. And so just keep doing what you're doing and just push to do better. And, you know, they appreciate and love you. And I just appreciate all women as well. And, you know, the fathers too. Like, they get that place. But this is about the mamas right now.
Yeah.
So you guys just keep on, like, just do, you know, just know that you're doing your best. And just try to do your best every day. And that's the best that we can do.
Right. And don't be afraid to reach out and ask questions and
And ask for help.
Ask for help. Yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help. That's one thing that we deal with as well, being afraid to ask for help. And I know I'm picky too about people who watch my kids, but you know, I'm a good person that if you want to leave your child with me, I'll take care of them until you get back. And I know some people can't leave their kids with everybody, but you'll know they're safe with me. So if you're really in a tough spot where, you know, you need to take care of something and you don't have anyone else, you don't have that support system, you can definitely call me. Okay?
Oh, remember you said that.
Oh,
right, exactly.
I'm gonna have a daycare.
Exactly. Thank you, Andrea. Okay, but we thank you so much for joining us at Watery Sis, and hopefully you'll join us back next Sunday. Peace and blessings.
Bye. That was awesome, ladies.
We're done.
August 1831, Nat Turner struck fear into the hearts of white Southerners by leading the most recognized effective slave rebellion in U.S. history. Born on a small plantation in Southampton County, Virginia, Turner inherited a passionate hatred of slavery from his African-born mother and came to see himself as anointed by God to lead his people out of bondage. In 1831, shortly after he had been sold again, this time to a craftsman named Joseph Travis, a sign in the form of an eclipse of the sun caused Turner to believe that the hour to strike was near. His plan was to capture the armory at the county seat, Jerusalem, and having gathered many recruits to press on the Dismal Swamp 30 miles to the east, where capture would be difficult. On the night of August 21st, together with 7 fellow slaves in whom he put his trust in, he launched a campaign of total annihilation, murdering Travis and his family in their sleep and then setting forth on a bloody march towards Jerusalem. 2 days and nights, about 60 white people were ruthlessly slain. Doomed from the start, Turner's insurrection was handicapped by the lack of discipline among his followers and by the fact that only 75 blacks rallied to his cause. Armed resistance from the local whites and the arrival of state militia, and a total force of approximately 3,000 men, provided the final crushing blow. Only a few miles from the county seat, the insurgents were dispersed and either killed or captured, and many innocent slaves were massacred in the hysteria that followed. Turner eluded the pursuers for 6 weeks, but was finally captured, tried, and hanged. Nat Turner's rebellion put an end to the white Southern myth that slaves were either contented with their lot or too servile to mount an armed revolt. In Southampton County, black people came to measure time from Nat's Fray or Old Nat's War. For many years in black churches throughout the country, the name Jerusalem referred not only to the Bible, but also covertly to the place where the rebel slave had met his death.